Hi guys, welcome back.
Today we're going to be talking about our first disorder, and we're emphasizing autism. We're going to be exploring a few therapies, treatments, and interesting things in that field right now. We have another video out today that we interviewed Dr. Nava Silton.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really great, and her work with the real abilities. And then we have our founder, Lo, and she's going to talk about her experiences with Autism Movement Therapy, as well as her own work, which is unique abilities. So autism is a spectrum disorder. It appears and manifests in a lot of different ways. It can
Around
be
the age of 2 most of the
time. Asperger's now falls under the autism spectrum disorder as well. But a lot of it is sensory overload. Sometimes they're nonverbal and they have trouble communicating back and forth.
Yeah, social situations can be a little difficult.
Yeah, and it's a lot of just overwhelming stimuli inside their head. So, yeah, and a lot of times people don't see them as a mature or high-functioning humans, but they're, just as capable. They just have a very different way of navigating the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, a lot of it has to deal with, like we said, it's on a spectrum. So you'll have people that are very high-functioning, who, you can barely tell, or you have people on the other side of the spectrum where it's a little more severe. One thing that I've been very heavily involved in, which I talked about in, my intro video, was my fascination with alternative therapies and special education. So I was presented with the opportunity to be certified in Autism Movement Therapy when I was at Marymount, our alma mater. And I was given this awesome chance to be certified by Joanne Lara, she's a woman who's basically developed this awesome autism movement therapy curriculum that is really focused on providing any person, whether you have mild autism or severe autism, the opportunity to dance and move in a way that is not only fun and helps you with social skills, but also, gives the participant an awesome opportunity to kind of rewire their brain in a way that's a little more, helpful and beneficial for them. So during the workshop, the people that attended, we were instructed on how to hold our own autism movement therapy class, and then also how to deal with different situations where a child might be a little resistant to joining the class, and just a bunch of different strategies to kind of ensure that every participant is having a great time. So most of the movement curriculum focuses on the combination of both the left and right brain through cross-lateral movement, which I'm sure you're super familiar with. Caitlin is neuroscience queen. So it's awesome because it allows for the corpus callosum, which is the structure that connects your two lobes. It allows for it to be exercised in new ways, so more patterns can be formed, and there are easier pathways for different signals to transfer from one side of the brain to the other, which is really cool. The fact that they can build up those skills later in life.
It works on the whole brain concept. So yeah, you're not limiting just one or the other side or specific parts. You're fully engaged in the whole brain and allowing all parts to work in tandem.
Yeah, it's really, really, really great. And that's only a section of the curriculum. A lot of it focuses on, there's one activity that we do that allows us to all sit in a circle, and each kid is supposed to come up with 4 movements and then 4 sounds that correspond with each movement. And you go around the circle and everyone repeats it and all this stuff. And what Miss Lara kept continually saying throughout the workshop was basically that, if you are practicing this within an autism classroom setting, a lot of these kids haven't ever felt empowered to make their own decisions. Too often they're told what to do rather than kind of commanding everyone else. And so it gives them a sense of power. And it's really cool to kind of see people react to them. She showed us a documentary, and so seeing these kids react in a way that they're not used to being a leader, they're not used to people looking at them or following them, it changes their dynamic and puts them in a situation where they feel like they have a little more control, and then you can kind of bring a little bit more out of that student.
Yeah, so, and they feel like they're functioning human beings. They're not treated like they can't do something. They're, thrust into a position where they feel very capable.
Yeah, and that's so important to have that kind of social inclusion. We had part of the workshop was focused on what it's actually like to have autism. And this man, he did basically a small activity where he had each of us in a group of 5, and one person was on the spectrum, and then the other people did various distractions. So you had one person like patting you on the head, one yelling something at you, one singing, one dancing, and the other person you were supposed to focus on and kind of repeat back what they were asking or answer the questions, hold a normal conversation. And it was really interesting to have that perspective, because a lot of people just don't understand that really it's just a lot of stimulus. I mean, there are other parts, obviously, like no person with autism is experiencing that in the same way.
Right.
But to give a cool perspective and to kind of put yourself in that position is very eye-opening, because then you get like, oh, I mean, I would be very, very frustrated if I was, say, 35 years old and people still treated me like a child.
Yeah,
just
I feel like it gives everyone a lot of empathy to understand what people on the autism spectrum are actually going through.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, it's really good. You'll see that we have left up, articles about autism and kind of how our society has been addressing it. And particularly with the inclusion of the Sesame Street character that now has autism. And then if you check out Nava's video, her entire comic book and TV series is dedicated to, including these kids. It's so cool. And it's really important because it's a very, very common disorder. And it's like the numbers get bigger every year.
Exactly.
So it's important to kind of branch out and, continue a good dialogue. So an awesome part about participating in this workshop was that I started to gain the confidence about, what I wanted to do in my future and everything. And this is really the turning point, was really the turning point for me in deciding to open Unique Abilities, which is my current nonprofit that, hosts art therapy camps for special ed kids. I mean, we will have a whole video and probably like a multiple about it, because, we get some awesome footage and everyone is so happy and it's a really, really, really good time. But, the benefits of working in this workshop was, getting told exactly how to maneuver yourself in difficult situations and how to discipline without being harsh, or how to kind of see the classroom from the point of view of a student who's participating. And I think that a lot of the strategies that I've learned through Joanne's curriculum, as well as some other programs that I've participated in that have taught me how to work with kids on the autism spectrum or other, special needs, it's really, really beneficial, and I think that I'm just learning along the way, which is what we're really encouraging all of you to do.
Exactly.
These videos are to not only help you find solutions to personal problems you may have, but also, kind of point you in different career path directions that you may not have considered, because it's pretty awesome to be in this world, no matter what context. So
everyone's helping each other.
Exactly. So keep an eye out for more videos. Like I said, we'll have a Unique Abilities up soon.
And Nava's is up today, so check out her work with Real Abilities. It's a really cool video.
Yeah, we'll have all the links to her sites, and there's a blog that's involved with it, and there are ways you can order comic books. I mean, it's really, really cool.
So, yeah, we're celebrating autism.
Yeah, so check back in next week, and we'll have another cool video to show you.
Thanks.
See you.